What doesn't challenge you doesn't change you. A good friend of mine, David Albin, he is the owner of Firewalk Adventures for many, many years. You may have heard me talk about him, or you've probably seen some pictures, photos of myself and him together. Uh, we work together as a team, and we run some very inspiring events together. He worked with Tony Robbins for many years. But this is something that he said, and I know it's not something that he came up with, right? This is something that he had heard from others, and has probably been a mantra or a saying or a quote that has been passed along from probably the beginning of time, right? But what doesn't challenge you doesn't change you. He said this weekend as we were leading men and women through a special 2-day Unleash the Leader Within experience in Williston, North Dakota, with a good friend, again, Brent Lee of True Wealth Financial, who brought that to his hometown and made it possible for these men and women to come through this experience, and for a very challenging experience that ultimately with the intent to help to change them in a positive manner, in a powerful manner, to become the leaders that they want to be, that they know that they need to be, and that most importantly, they aspire to be. So, the problem is that challenging things are hard, and challenging things in our life often cause us to get into our head and say, to create these stories around why you don't need it, why you don't have to go through it, why it's okay to stay where you're at. We could go on and on. The list is endless on how we negotiate with ourselves to not lean into the challenging. But the problem is that the only growth available and possible to all of us inside of our life is when we step in and challenge ourselves. You can't grow muscle without challenging the current muscle and fibers and strength that you have, to beat it down, to break it down so that it could repair itself and come back stronger. That's how it works in the game of building muscle. You can't lose weight without challenging your body and training your body to realize that it can survive with much less calorie input than we're used to giving to our body, right? Our body will adapt. It will start to shed some of the fat that it's clinging and hanging onto in order for you to lean up and lose weight. So same thing for anything. When it comes to being a leader, there's no way to become a better leader other than you can read books, yes, but is that super challenging? No, I would say the level of the challenge is going to equal the level of your growth. If you read a book, can you pick up some things to become a better leader? Yes, absolutely, 100%. But guess what? Until you take what you read in the book and you go and apply it into real life situations as a leader, and you learn and you put yourself under some pressure and stress to see how you will react as a leader, that's where the real challenge and the real change will come. And there's only one way to do that, is to put yourself in those situations. And that's why I created Unleash the Leader Within, to give you a real life platform to show up and to grow as a leader under some real stress and pressure that is challenging and uncomfortable. The great thing about it is that there's not really a lot on the line other than, yourself and your life. But the fact that you show up and you're there means that you had the courage to do so. And so when you're challenged, the change begins to happen. The learning begins to happen. The adaptation begins to happen. As long as you apply, there's application from that challenge when you go back home. Would it not be better to challenge yourself and learn in an environment where you can grow and real life consequences aren't on the line? The biggest consequence that you might have is to have to do a little extra work. You might have to do a few more burpees or a few more push-ups together as a team, versus real life costs and consequences of messing up when the chips are actually on the line and it's game time, right? So what doesn't challenge you doesn't change you. Find ways inside of your life to in learning environments to challenge yourself so that when you step into the real life arena, you're prepared at a higher level to perform at a higher level as well. So that's what I got for you today. What doesn't challenge you won't change you. So what can you find today to challenge yourself at a higher level so that you can show up stronger, greater, better than you were yesterday? That's what I got. Let's go.